National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonathan Beatty, naturopathic doctor and a health expert here at Nationalnutrition.ca. One of the concerns that people come into my office with are environmental allergies. Especially in the spring and the late fall, I find that's when pollen levels rise and people start to experience more symptoms. Allergies themselves are not really a disease, but instead what they are is a sign of a weakened immune system. Basically, when your immune system goes out of balance and starts irresponsibly or improperly reacting to antigens or certain proteins in the environment. Now, these trigger a variety of symptoms. The most common you see on your allergy medication commercials, itchy, watery eyes, sneezing, runny noses. What a lot of people don't realize is that environmental allergies can also cause a host of other problems, from arthritis to skin conditions like dermatitises, and as well can actually even change your blood pressure because of an inflammatory reaction to the antigens in the environment. Now, the antigens can be anything from pollens, dust, they can actually even be to insect bites. There's a variety of different reactions, as I mentioned. Some of the most severe are the ones we know as anaphylactic reactions. These are the ones that often we think of when we hear of like a peanut allergy, for instance, where somebody's throat closes and they're actually required to be treated with a shot of epinephrine. So that's the more severe version, but as I said, allergies can manifest in any which way. And the real key here is that it's a sign of an imbalanced immune system. Some people may never experience allergies throughout their entire life, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, they go through a stressful period, or they have a period where they change their nutritional status, and all of a sudden they start to develop allergies. That's because high stress can cause an imbalance in how the immune system behaves, as well as nutrient deficiencies can interfere with normal function of the immune system, and then this causes an allergy to develop. In fact, some allergies can even develop post-infection. So, you're going along fine and healthy, no allergy at all. Then you get an infection, and from that day forward, you may find that you're actually allergic to something like ragweed, which can be complicating because of something else called cross-reactivity, where sometimes your immune system, and this is part of what an allergy is, it's mistaking a protein for something dangerous. And so, for instance, if your body accidentally thinks ragweed is dangerous, what you may find is you also suddenly react to cantaloupe. And the problem is that your body will also mistake proteins in cantaloupe for something like ragweed. So this, of course, makes solving your allergy dilemmas a little bit more problematic. I typically recommend going and having blood allergy testing, where you can measure the different antibodies in your blood and actually determine specifically what you're allergic to, so you can try and use avoidance strategies. And then in addition to that, it's really important to try and rebalance the immune system. So there's a few supplements that you can use to actually help straighten out or normalize your immune function. Some of the ones I typically recommend, vitamin C seems to be quite effective against allergies, helping to lower the release of the compound that triggers the allergic reaction, which is called histamine. Something else that can do this is a flavonoid called quercetin. Quercetin is a very important nutrient. It's often found in things like citrus peels, apple peels. Although that being said, to get to a therapeutic level of this nutrient, you'll typically have to eat pounds of orange peel, which I can say is a little too bitter for my consumption. That's why I usually will supplement it, and anywhere from 1 to 2 grams of quercetin per day is found effective. Then from a herbal standpoint, the one herb that I typically often recommend is something called Nettle or Urtica Dioica, or sometimes referred to as Urtica urens, depending on the species of the plant you're using. And it's the nettle leaf you're looking for. Oftentimes you can buy nettle root. That's not typically what we use for allergy. It's the leaf portion you're looking for, and that actually can help reduce the histamine produced by the body. So dosing yourself with some vitamin C, some quercetin, and some nettle might be an effective strategy at lowering your allergy symptoms by reducing the histamine produced. Give it a little bit of time because it does take around 2 weeks for this to take effect. And the reason behind that is because the allergic reaction that's already occurred has already released histamine into the system. And you need to wait for that histamine to degrade before you're going to notice that reduction in your allergy symptoms as the histamine being produced is reduced. Another way you can manage your allergies is from a dietary perspective. Many people who have environmental allergies also suffer from food allergies, and so what you want to do is lower the overall histamine produced by your immune system. So it's very important to reduce the intake, or actually fully cut out the intake, of any foods you may be allergic to as well, as this can reduce your body's reactivity to its environment, and in many cases your environmental allergies can actually resolve with the removal of a food allergy from your system. So it's really important that you also understand how foods may affect you. Again, back to the example of having a ragweed allergy and often having a cantaloupe allergy that goes with that, you may find you not only have to reduce your exposure to ragweed, but also, of course, in the summer months, reduce your intake of the cantaloupe to reduce your risk of that allergy and reduce the risk of reaction. In order to prevent allergies, it's important that we manage our stress, we manage our diet, and we manage our exposure to things that we know we're allergic to. So of course, staying indoors, typically between the hours of about 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. when pollen levels are highest, is a great way to reduce our risk of exposure to our allergens. And these things themselves can help reduce our allergy development and our allergy symptoms. As well, if you start taking supplementation in advance of a season you know you have an environmental allergy in, so for instance in advance of ragweed season at the end of the summer, if you start early summer or midsummer supplementing with vitamin C, quercetin, and nettle, you may notice a great reduction in your allergy symptoms come allergy season for you. So it's important to understand, of course, with an environmental allergy, where your exposures come from, if they're seasonal, when they're happening, so that you can plan in advance and help prevent the allergy symptoms from occurring. So I hope you've learned a few things you can do to help manage your seasonal allergies. And remember, combining a few therapies is most likely going to be the most effective way to do this. So of course, looking at supplementation, change in diet, and of course, avoidance strategies is going to be very important. Check out more videos, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. And remember, knowledge is health.